They're all getting a bit twitchy to go. They're all moving a little bit, but the pace car finally sets off. This is the first time that we have a competition on the tarmac oval rather than a dirt oval today. And I wonder how that's going to play into their hands. These cars are very much used to jumping over things, so we could see a little bit of interesting overtaking going on, I would imagine. Those little bumps around the flashlights on the inside of the circuit look fascinating, so we shall have to see how it all goes. So, as I was saying before, we have Gregory Leader in first place. He does flick in and out a little bit with his dodgy internet connection, so we'll have to see how long he lasts up there. We could have a little bit of a phantom leader, if you'll excuse the pun. So, and they're away. Leader gets a great start there, and we've already got a bit of a tag behind him with Yellow Ooms. In second place, on the inside of him is Tim Ellis. We'll see if we see any dive bombs from Alex Van Gien in fourth this evening. He says he's going to behave himself in the championship races, but this is all guns blazing today. Behind there, Ed Shelley made a disastrous start. He's dropped all the way back down from 5th down to 12th, and there's cars off all over the shop. But the leaders are behaving themselves and spreading out slightly. So we got Yelly Ooms, followed by Tim Ellis. Let's go back to our grateful leader here, Spanner's Ready. He is halfway through the pack. He's made up a few places at the beginning. Grateful leader, that's not what I meant. I meant fantastic, wonderful, international media personality icon. Right, and then Kyle Power is also doing quite well in the middle of the pack here. He's up to 14th place. Seeing the pace car there just sitting off on the infield. It's a very old place. It was parked on the grass. There's Matt Trumpets. Two Rumpets. I love getting to say that. Here we go. So he is actually just behind Kyle Power, and he's going to get nerfed, I think, by Ian Erasmus, so he goes a bit far out. I don't know how much of a tag you need to get before you get an incident point, because there's a little bit of rubbing. As far as I'm concerned, rubbing is racing though in these cars. Heading back towards the front, we have Yelly Ooms, who has now managed to get past Gregory Leader, and Tim Ellis is coming up behind him. Sam Harper making some way through the field in the number 52 car there. And behind him is Gary Thomas, Steve Ficacci, and Alex Van Gien. And the leader's already coming up to lap the back markers. This is one of the fascinating parts of these ovals. I'm going to have a great time as they start coming through here, trying to work out who is in the lead. Ooms moved to the inside. I'll be very careful not to get those incident points as they go through the back markers as well. There's carnage up in front of them, but it seems to have dissipated as they go through. So we have Ooms there, and that was Meyer who they were taking lapping there. So Gregory Leader under pressure from Tim Ellis. I don't know if I call this an oval. I think it's more of a circle, to be honest with you. So you might as well just crank it on over and just go for it. So we've got Sam Harper making his way through as well. He's having pressure on Gary Thomas, and they've collided. But luckily, neither come off worse for wear. There's plenty of cars strewn around the outside of the circuit, going off into the dirt out there. Wouldn't lose too much pace from here. Harper dives up the inside. He is well off the circuit there, but I guess anything goes this evening. And there he is, in fact. There he goes up into the 4th place now. And so they have already lapped a significant portion of the field now. They've lapped up to 18th place. So Yelly Ooms in the lead, and we appear to have a few cars on the infield, actually in the pits on their roof, so that's quite exciting. And Ooms from the lead has been taken out. Here's on the outfield, upside down. That is race over for Eli Ooms. That is such a shame for him. So that puts, I think, Gregory Leader back into the lead of the race, followed by Tim Ellis, who is mired down in the pack trying to get past him. So Leader actually has quite a substantial gap behind him, a whole 1.25 seconds back to Sam Harper. And on these short track ovals, that is a little bit of a gulf developing between the two. Although Harper has just, as I say, that halved that gap, so he is doing remarkably well. He's taken to this tarmac oval a lot better than the dirt ovals, and in fact, he has just taken Leader out. They were talking in the drivers' briefing about being able to take your opponents out. Harper, that was a cynical move there on Leader, and that has just put Leader on his roof again, out into the dust, but he's managed to recover halfway down the pack. That was very dirty there from Harper. I think we should throw to why don't we throw now to Rich Malden? Richard, so tell me, what was going on for you there? Are you out already?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I decided to use some of my instant points to settle some scores from the previous races, so Yellow Ooms nudged me out of the way in Cox, so I decided to basically roll him.
Amazing.
Perfectly reasonable payback.
So our driver steward decided to take matters into his own hands there. I thought you'd be more cynical there and maybe in post-race to take some points off him.
We've gone from the cultured UK to the lawless wherever this is in America, so it's kind of, the rule of the jungle, and now I'm mixing up my analogy.
Do you know what? This is a cracking choice of car and track here. I love the fact that there's just chaos reigning. You may not have seen that Sam Harper just absolutely took out Leader there for the lead of the race. It was totally simple. I think we should look into that.
Yeah, no, I've already investigated myself and found myself completely innocent of all charges.
Perfect. How did you do in the Formula Renaults? Did you have a good evening today?
Yeah, surprisingly well, actually. I had precious little practice because I managed to kill my PC last week, so I've had basically no practice sessions up to the race, but some solid upper midfield finishes, which is good. But I think that was mainly through other people crashing out in front of me. That was very nice.
Yes, I hear it was a very expensive upgrade you made there, trying to just get that little bit of an edge by getting a frame rate boost, maybe.
Exactly, though unfortunately now I've got my rear view mirrors enabled in my VI headset, so that's just adding to my motion sickness, so I'm not sure it's actually helped.
I don't think you're the only one. So, where are we headed to next event?
I think we've got Nürburgring penciled in, but we're making sure that that the drivers are going to be allowed to be in and out depending on current quarantine conditions.
Yes, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Richard. Enjoy watching the rest of this race because it's a cracker so far.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to get my finger back hovering over the disqualification button.
You're going to get an itchy trigger finger. All right, I'll let you go. So back to the race then. We got Sam Harper in the lead still after that very dirty move. He is now a whopping nearly 4 seconds ahead of Tim Ellis, who has somehow managed to stay out of trouble. I think Richard is definitely going to have to get his finger waggling there because there is so much corner cutting and nudging and people on their roofs absolutely everywhere. Let's go see back where Spanners is. He is embroiled in a battle with Kyle Power. I think we should go have a chat to him. Spanners, you are on the air. How are you doing?
Hello. Right, so I started this with a terrible attitude. I thought it was awful and ridiculous. Now I've never wanted to win anything more. I feel like I'm at Butlins. I've paid £1 and now I'm just going around in circles. It's amazing.
I think it's...
Richard Malden took me out deliberately. I don't know what score he thought he was settling with me, but I was so disappointed. I was like, no, I was on the lead lap. I wanted to race. He's great.
Yes, I think he went a little bit rogue this evening, but now he's...
He did. He's got a tequila issue, which makes race control somewhat random. Random penalties coming through, Chris.
Oh, and we've got a competition caution coming up here, so you have to file in.
Oh,
yeah, that's
what?
right.
Do we unlap
so.
ourselves? Is that what happens here?
I have no idea, Spanners. I'm about as used to this as you are. So I think you're just about to line up behind. That's Kyle Power in front of you in the number 26.
Yeah, it's telling me to line up behind Kyle. Hey, I tell you what you can do here, Catman, is you can definitely get on the inside and nudge someone with no incident points.
I was going to say, because for the lead of the race, we saw Sam Harper just absolutely cynically take off Gregory Leader.
Well, you can't ram someone, but I think, if, you get on the inside and that happens to cause a spin, I think that's sort of part of it, as far as I can tell.
A love tap, a friendly little nudge. Excellent.
Oh, you should hear, I tell you what, one of these races, we'll not tell the Discord chat, and we'll just put them on the live stream, because the whole race, they just the camaraderie is brilliant, but they're having a go at each other. What you guys miss in the commentary booth is the agreements that you can have over Discord that you don't get with normal racing. So I can be up behind John Lang, and I was saying to John, go and get Barry Kemp in that last race. I'm not going to attack you, go get him. And then as I was getting closed in from behind, I'm saying to them, guys, the gap is closing behind me. I'm not hanging around anymore. Get on with it.
It's I love that aspect of this sort of racing.
It's really good. So we'll have to turn the Discord channel on. We'll not warn them.
Can you imagine if the F1 boys got to chat to each other during the race? I think.
Well, do you know what? I've always wondered, because something that we've done with the Missed Apex karting is we've moved to having, driver comms. So like you're doing talking to me now, the commentators at Buckmore Park are able to talk to two drivers on the track. And so we're sort of opening that up more and more. And I've been exploring these technologies for years. And I think the technology will be there in a couple of years to have a karting event, and everyone who wants to be mic'd up talking to each other can. Imagine that would be great.
And that's just in time for when we actually get to go real racing again, probably in a couple of years, I would imagine.
Yes, yeah, I know. Depressing. But look, Doug, this has been the community spirit of this championship has really made up for the fact that we've missed karting. Because this has become a real thing. It's something we've tried to grow for the last couple of years. And now, we've got a solid core of people from around the world racing. And in some ways, it's better than the karting. It can't replace, that social in the bar at 3 a.m, trying to make Matthew Summerfield from motorsport.com miss the race through alcohol. But it's been really good. It's been really good. I've got no idea. I've been chatting to you. I don't know what car I'm meant to be behind or anything. All right, I'll get on with it, trying to line up and not ruin this.
Sure, I would have no idea for you. So thank you very much, Spanners. Enjoy the rest of the race. That's a fantastic insight. I think we are just about to head racing again. Sam Harper and Shelley Ellis has made a muck-up of that exit of that first corner and got it very sideways. That has allowed David Hatton on the inside, and there's rubbing everywhere. There's people going sideways. Alex Derbitzberger, Ficacci also off as well. Harper leads. Got a little bit of breathing space to Shelley. Behind him is Hatton under massive pressure from Alex Van Gien. He's really coming into his own on this oval. I guess it kind of plays to his strengths of just being able to go around in circles all day. He's around the outside of David Hatton, and Hatton has been punted off into one of the light poles. So that is his race over. Van Gien up now into P2, because where has Sam Harper gone? He has dropped back massively, so he must have had an interesting incident, and he's just now ramming people left, right and centre. I always knew he was dirty, that boy. Okay, now we have Ed Shelley towards the front in the number 33 car. And he's got a back marker between him and Alex Van Gien and Carl Power. So those two friends, they're getting towards it. And Ellis has come off the inside of Power. He's nudging him sideways. Oh, nearly into the guy sideways there. And they're still side by side. Who's going to come out on top here? Ellis, little nub tap there. Still side by side. It's Chris's favourite saying, but I'll say it in his absence. Here we go, still side by side. And now Ellis has made the move stick. But Power just lunges back up the inside and smashes Ellis out of the way again. That was a brilliant little switchback move there. I think track limits are being taken very liberally today. I guess when you've got a car that could go over massive jumps, a little bit of dirt doesn't make too much difference. Power's now managed to get a little bit of a gap away from Ellis again, so he's going to have a little bit of a relax. Now we've got Gary Thomas, who is now taking issue with Tim Ellis there. Let's see if he can do anything. Ellis has got sideways, and Thomas also bashes into him. He goes a bit sideways too, and he lost momentum. And then behind him, we have Alexander Derbitzberger, number 21. See if he can make some moves. Oh, and behind him, there's a bit of chaos with Danny Henney, who was doing so well in the single-seaters. Possibly not quite as at home in these. And in fact, I think he has now retired. Yes, he has. Incident points, I believe, claiming him there. Plenty of incidents going on. So at the front of the race, we've got Van Gien, and that is David Hatton, who he's having a squabble with. Hatton has now 3 laps down in P16, but he's still having a good go. And in fact, he has nerfed Van Gien. He went sideways, but that's fantastic car control there from Van Gien. Lying massive number 11s there. And Carl Powers, this is all this battle with Hatton here is giving Carl Power a good run on Van Gien. And Van Gien is being very, very rude today. There. Power just nudges Van Gien as well. This is all going off. Car's bouncing over the curbs. Van Gien finally makes the move stick, but I don't think Hatton is done, giving him a little bit of a nudge. It's a very low grip on these tyres, and Hatton again up on the inside, and there's a back marker got in the way. He basically tried to climb over the top of him there, and that saw the end of that little battle. Power, he's gone sideways because he's been tapped, and I think we've lost Kyle Power by the looks of things. I certainly can't see him on my screen anymore. So we have Van Gien now in the clear there, who's behind him. Ellis is behind him, and he is embroiled in a massive battle with so many cars. You've got the number 17 in there, who is Gary Thomas. So Gary Thomas is actually in front of Ellis now, and he is now up into a net 3rd position. And Erasmus as well has just taken Ellis too in the 808 car. And you got that old fox Sam Harper down in 6th place where he started. So all of that cheating that he's been doing has not got him anywhere, has it? Oh, and we got another full course caution. There you go. And Harper, speaking of dirty Harper, I don't think he noticed the full course caution as he just shunted Erasmus. And actually, I think Ellis as well. Ellis is okay in front of him. And, well, back into another little break there. Let's have a little run down the field. So we have Ed Shelley in P1, followed by Alex Van Gien, Gary Thomas, Ian Erasmus, Tim Ellis in P5, followed by Sam Harper, Mark Greenout, followed by Gregory Leader. So Leader is actually doing remarkably well considering what happened to him, the great injustice that happened to him earlier on in the race. He's clawed his way back up onto the lead lap and is now in P8. He is the last of the runners on the lead lap because he got behind him Matt Cook and then Richard Spanner's ready. Let's see if we can throw back to him because I should have thought of that before I did it. Here you go. So,
Hi.
Richard, hi Spanish. Yeah. You have made up some places, my man.
I was chasing Cook for ages, and then as soon as I caught up to the back of him, yellow flags. This race director is a really good and smart and wise person. I just thought I was involved in some incidents in the Renault. I'm in 10th. Woohoo! This is amazing. How long's left?
God, no idea, my friend. No idea. But can't be that long now. We have had. Oh, there are only 2.5 minutes to the end, so this is going to be
I see. We're going to start. We might finish under yellows here. I don't know.
I hope
If
not. We
right.
can have a little dash.
I've got a few incident points in hand. I reckon Harper's had it coming. What do you reckon?
Harper, definitely. You do have Matt Cook, the number 75, right in front of you. So, if you were feeling cynical, he's the only one on the lap in front of you. So, you could, if you want to lose a listener, you could definitely punt him off.
Can you just check? Is he a patron? Can you check?
He is
in
a
that
patron,
case,
unfortunately.
no. Thank you for your support, Mr. Cook.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be giving you a very wide berth.
This is loads of fun. I have to say, like, you first get into these and it feels like you're in a proper pickup because these things are so immersive. As much as it makes you feel like you're in a single seater, it really makes you feel like you're in your granddad's truck. Granddad, can I borrow your truck? I've got to pick up a mattress.
Do you know what? How does this feel in VR as well? Because the cars look like they're tipping all over the place.
Oh no, you feel it. You feel the roll, and the same in the Charlotte Oval. If you got up with the banking, you felt like you were on banking, and you go, "How does that work? How do I feel like I'm on banking?" Stupid. Oh, hang on, I've got to go up the inside.
That's it,
22.
There's people taking liberties here. 22. And
Greenow, there we go. He's weaving all over the place. What's Greenow doing?
Oh, there you go. Go racing. Go.
Okay, go.
I'll let you go. Thank you, Spanners. Here we go again. So, coming back to the front of the grid where it actually matters, we have Alex Van Gien in the lead, now followed by Thomas. And there's been a disaster for somebody in a blue car, but I'm staying with Alex Van Gien and Gary Thomas, because Gary Thomas is looking like he's going to try and make a move for the lead. Behind him is Tim Ellis in that lovely car there, with Harper coming up to P4 now. He could be in the running if he plays his cards right. Van Gien's got a little bit of a run, and he's only got a couple of minutes to hold on to this lead. Could he be a winner in the only race of the evening that doesn't actually matter? But he's here we come. Behind him, Gary Thomas prowling like a shark in that number 17 car. He's looking menacing. Behind them, Ellis and Harper getting very close to each other. I wonder how many points Harper has in hand. Probably not many from what I've seen of him this evening. And then we've got David Hatton behind him, but he's not behind him in the standings. He is just like a little thorn in their side, just getting in the way. But it's all good today. Then we've got Leader and Erasmus, who are very close together on the road. In fact, Erasmus gives Leader a little bit of a love tap behind. I think we should head back and see what Spanners is doing, because Spanners, he's all on his own. Has he got past Matt Cook? He has. So that was exciting. And in fact, I think Matt Cook is out of the race, so he might have been disqualified for too many incidents. So Spanner's been gifted the position there, and he's on a lap all by himself, because the guy in front of him is Gary Thomas in the number 17, who for some reason is in the pit lane and has stopped. So that's another place gained there for Spanners. He will be up to P7 once he's unlapped himself. And seems like Spanners has decided to again take matters into his own hands and fly off the circuit. Would that be the end of the race, do you think? I think it could well be. So, who actually won that one? That would be Alex Van Gien, followed by Tim Ellis, and Sam Harper did make it onto the podium in the end. And this is absolute carnage. I think there's a car about 40 feet in the air there. Well, I'll tell you what, I wish that I had my cheese with me, because that was a wonderful evening's racing. The Silverstone races were a bastion of wonderful, close, clean racing, and this one was the direct opposite. I've had a lot of fun. My name is Chris Catman Turner. Thank you for joining us this evening. Please subscribe to Miss Apex Motorsport on YouTube and the podcast as well. I hope you've had fun. Good night.